Hello there. So I'm filming my newest update for my Pan That Palette challenge. I've been putting off this update actually because I really wanted to make more progress before I showed you guys, because it's kind of boring if you see no progress or no pans being hit. And then I thought, this is a true, honest sort of way of doing it, because I have been really working very hard on this palette, and I don't have a lot to show for it, and it just shows you all the palettes out there. It really takes a long time to go through one, and maybe it will help myself and also just some of you to really ponder your decision before you buy another eyeshadow palette that are the newest releases from holiday that's coming in hard and fast nowadays. So let's get started. I have several palettes to update you on. So I will start first with the face palette, sort of like a mini face palette from Becca called Endless Bronze and Glow. It was a limited edition sort of multi-face palette. So there's a bronzer, highlight, and blush. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. I really love it. It's a little bit more shimmery than I'm used to, than I would like, but it is generally very, very pretty. And some of the markings or overlay is a little bit gone, but in general, it's hard to see any dips. So you can see if I pull it through this way, you can't really see any dips yet. And I've been using this quite consistently. So once again, just shows you how much product is in a compact, more so than you think, So on my days when I'm in a hurry, I swish my brush all together and I just poof it onto my cheeks with a really fluffy brush. Days when I'm not in a rush, I separately apply at least the bronzer and the blush, just to kind of make sure I have differentiated placement of these products when I can. It looks great both ways, and I really enjoyed this. So I'm so glad that I, found it in my collection, and I'm choosing to focus on it because it's a great product, and it was probably cost me a lot of money, and it's just sitting there, and I'm just really enjoying the panning process right now. So that's the first palette update. So for this next one, there is actually a lot of progress, so I guess I'm selling myself short, but I had finished the highlight shade, and if you can see, there's a tiny bit left in the corner of the crease shade from this Urban Decay palette that just won't die. So as soon as that's out, I wanted to chuck this palette, but then I was trying some of these shades sort of offline, and they're still good. So, but I don't want to keep this bulky packaging. I really don't want to. So once I finish this, I'm going to pop these out just into my singles collection and keep them there if I ever needed them. Especially, it's just handy to have a black in there if I ever needed to pull it in. But so this is very exciting. So by the next update, this will definitely be gone, and then I'll have to pull in either a new crease shade, or I'll just keep working on the Natasha shades, which I'll show you as well. So the next one, so this is kind of like a lit setting shade that I use, that you guys have seen before. So it's a mix of these two. I find works really well. It just blanks out my lid, and then I can work from there. And as you can see, there's a dip happening on both of them. So I'm really happy about that. I thought I would have hit pan sooner, but I haven't. This is very tightly packed as well from the Too Faced Peachy Matte palette. So it's good. I mean, it's nice that I get a lot of use out of these basic shades. Once this is over, once again, I'll just find a different replacement in my collection. And I love the feeling of going through shadows, as I need to use them utilitarianly. And this is just great progress, I think. There's a nice dip there. So really excited about that. And then another shade, I think in my last update, I did already hit pan, but I've really widened the pan. Now, you see here, there's some scattered little bits of eyeshadow, so I will be carefully picking those up and repressing this. I just wanted to work through it a bit more before I started to do that, because I was about to repress it last time, and then I realized these pans, what I've seen is that if I try to repress it too early, like there will be too much powder almost for the pan, and it might just overwhelm the pan. So I want to use up a little bit more so I can break it up evenly and really do a nice job of repressing. So I might repress after the next update. I'm very careful when I use this palette, and I'll make sure to save the little bits that I can from the edges and repress this. So that was my highlight shade, so that's also very exciting. And then ta-da, the final reveal. So this is what my palette currently looks like. As you can see, still one pan, and we're like, what, 4 or 5 months into this? 4 months? And I am trying really hard, you guys, but also I'm like an organic panner. I don't like to just really dig in and try to pan, you know, like I want to use up the product organically. So what I've been doing is jumping from shade to shade, which accounts for the non-pan situation. By the way, I'm sorry this is so messy. I tried to clean up, if you can tell by the streaks, with a paper towel, and it's very difficult to clean this palette, so apologies for how dirty it looks. But yes, so my favorite shades right now that I'm trying to hit pan in without being overly crazy about it is the middle one here. This one's called Orion. So this is a beautiful one, and then this champagne one, it's called, let's see, Bellatrix. So those are the two shades that have the biggest dips. This matte brown, surprisingly, is starting to have a big dip. Well, starting to have a dip. The mattes are very tightly pressed, so I imagine I would have a lot more dips in the shimmers before the mattes I would ever be able to. So now panning this palette, it's been such a great experience, you guys, because when you're forced to use a palette for so long, you really get to know it, and you really start to hate it or love it, or, you know, vacillate between the two. And that's what's been happening. You know, when I started the palette at first, I was like, oh, I don't love some of these colors. I don't know what to do with them. And then as I force myself to explore the palette, I just find I'm loving it more and more. And at least for now, I'm on the loving it stage. And it's really nice. So generally, this side is more cool. This side is more warm. And you can just do so many looks, as you can tell from all the different combos here. So Natasha has been notorious for duping herself within a palette. And I won't say that this isn't true. So this one and this one, these two, this is just slightly yellowish and less intense of a bronze. This is a darker bronze, but these are very similar on the eyes. So she's definitely guilty of that in this palette as well. But I will also say you can still create so many different looks with this palette. You could do like a reddish look, a purplish look, a pinkish look, corally look, golden look, bronze look, you know, just over a really large variety, grayish look, cool gray look. So a green, you know, blue shift look. So I'm really in love with it. I mean, it's an older palette. It's past its prime. No one's really talking about it, but it's really interesting how I'm just falling in love with it more and more as I use it, which is great because I think I'm stuck with this for like 2 more years at least. I do want to pan every shade. This is the only shade that I'm very iffy about because there's a ton of fallout, and I'm not able to get a good look out of it. So that one is to be determined. But the other shades, I'm definitely determined to use them all up, like every single one. And let me just give you a quick swatch again of these my 2 Target shades for next month. Look how beautiful they are. I just love them so much. So this one is the green one, kind of like a beetle kind of look, and then that one's a light champagne. So yeah, so that's my short and sweet update. And please stay tuned. I'd love to share my progress with you for next month as well. I'm doing a Shop My Stash, weekly Shop My Stash in my channel. So if you like that, please follow along because I'm really falling in love again with really discovering my collection. And you'll see in those videos, I'm hyper focusing on literally each item every week. And it's brought so much joy and just kind of almost forced minimalism in my life because I have so many beautiful products that I'm even discovering for myself for the first time. There's really no need to shop anytime in the near future. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me and see you next time. Bye.